My dear students, I hope you all are fine. So today we are going to discuss social science chapter number 3. Chapter name is weather and climate. So first of all, we need to know the definition of weather and climate. The weather is the condition of the atmosphere over a short period of time at a particular place. It may be sunny, cloudy, rainy, etc. So weather is a change of atmosphere for a short period of time, such as if the rain happens, then we feel some cold weather. So this type of weather is called, this type of atmosphere is called weather. It may be if the sun shines properly, then we feel very hot. If the cloudy day, then we feel a little bit normal than the sunny days. So these things are called weather. And the climate is, it is the average weather condition of a particular place for a long period of time. So it doesn't change every day. It's a weather system for a long period of time. This is called climate, such as the climate of a particular place. In our place, the climate is different, and if you go to Sri Kashmir, then you will find another level of climate. If you go to Rajasthan, then you will find another level of climate. So this one is called climate because it's doesn't change each and every day. It takes a long period of time, and it remains same for a long period of time. So climate change due to various factors. So we study some factors here. The first factor is latitude or distance from the equator. So as I discussed you in the earlier chapter, in the first chapter, that how the latitude impacts on weather and how can we identify the place, whether it is cold, whether it is hot, the climate of a particular place, how can we identify through the latitude. So here we are discussing about this distance from the equator. It's occurs changes of the weather, of the climate, such as the sun in the ultimate natural source of heat on the earth. It gives of some amount of heat at all the time, but the amount of heat received by all the place is not same. Sun gives heat all over the world, but the level of heat, the ratio of heat of it is not same in all place. The place where is the near the on the equator, the countries which is situated or located on the equator, these are very hot place because the sun rays directly comes to these places, such as you can see here. Here the torrid zone, it's I'm discussing you through through this diagram so that you can understand it in a better way. So you can see here equator is written uh, near the circle. So the equator, the place near the equator is it's called torrid zone because the weather of this place is very remain hot all over the year. And then you will find Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. The Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, this place is a little bit less hot than the place where is equator is situated. If you go to the frigid zone, then you will find very cold because the frigid zone is always frigid zone means Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. These circles remains cold all over the year. You know, I discussed you that in this place. All over the year you find ice purges are there, ice mountains are there. So I discussed these things about in the previous chapter. So now we are going to discuss about the zones. So there are three zones according to climate. The world is divided into three zones. The torrid zone, The areas which is lies between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of mm, Capricorn come under the torrid zone. The sun shines directly above this region. This is why they remain very hot throughout the year. So you find here that between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, again I am showing you Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn is they are given. You can see properly. So between this place there is blue place. So this place is called torrid zone because it remains hot because it's the place is near the equator and sun rays directly comes to this place. That's why this place is called torrid zone. On the other hand, you will see another zone is there, the frigid zone. Frigid zone, the area which is near the poles, that is between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere, and between the Arctic Circle and the South Pole. Okay, shortly I am describing you this. The frigid zone is this one. You can see frigid zone in the Antarctic Circle, and the Arctic Circle is also frigid zone. It remains icy throughout the year. So that's why it is very difficult for people to live in this place because there is no cultivation. You can't do any kind of cultivation. That's why people are not living in these two places. Only the research centers are there. India also made one research centers on Antarctic Circle. And then third one is temperate zone. Temperate zone, the areas which lies between the torrid zone and the frigid zone come under the temperate zone. There are two temperate zones, the north temperate zones and the south temperate zones. The climate of these regions is neither very hot nor very cold. Now you see temperate zone, north temperate zone and south temperate zone. This place is not so hot and not so cold. It is there. The climate of these two places is average because it's far from equator and also a little bit far from the Arctic Circle or Antarctic Circle. That's why the place is not neither very hot nor very cold. So one important thing, the word torrid means very hot. The areas that lies in the torrid zone is hottest areas of the earth. Okay. Next one is altitude or height above the sea level. So here we discuss about another reason for changing the climate is sea level height above the sea level. Another factor that affect climate at the altitude or height above the sea level, the height we go, the higher we go, the cooler we find. This is because the air closer to the earth absorbs more heat and make the places hot and lower altitude, whereas the air is thinner and higher altitude. Okay. So the if you go to the suppose if you go through flight, then you will find there is very uh, what should I say? There is very high pressure weather is there, and also if you go to the sea, then you will find very air pressure is there because the plain places absorbs much weather, much air atmosphere, much weather. That means there absorbs much airs. So that's why the place near the sea is very sometimes very cold, sometimes very hot because it receives much weather from the plain places. So that's why the high altitude is a little bit different than the or the place where altitude is located is a little bit different than other places. Third one, distance from the sea. So distance from the sea, you will see that climate, it's one another reason that the weather is changed. The climate of the coastal region is always affected by the sea that happens because of the sea breeze and land breeze. Okay. So here I am going to discuss you precisely that The place near the sea is receives always high pressure weather. It's always wet place. That's why uh, this place is keeps rain all over the years. The place which is very far from the sea, this place becomes very hot because there is the uh, flow of weather is very little. That's why it receives very hot. Such as if you go to Rajasthan, in the nearby the Rajasthan, there is no sea. That's why the place becomes very hot. Uh, okay, now direction of winds. Winds can be hot or cold, humid or dry. Each type of wind moderate the climate different. The wind blowing from hot regions bring high temperature. So then now we are going to discuss about the winds. Sometimes the climate change because of the winds, because if the weather flow from the dry places, from the hot places, from sandy places, then you will receive very hot weather. And if the winds blow from the cold places, such as if the winds blow through the Himalaya, then you will find very cold weather, such as Shillong receives weather from the Himalaya. That's why the place is very cold. And if you go to Delhi, then it receives weather from the Rajasthan, from the desert of mm, Rajasthan. That's why they receives very hot weather. So due to the wind, also the climate is changed. Last is location or mountain ranges. The location of mountain ranges also influences the climate of a place. The Himalaya do not allow the icy winds from Central Asia to enter India. So one of the important things, if you look at the map of India, you will find that on the above place, Himalaya is situated from Kashmir to the Arunachal Pradesh. You will find Himalaya is there. The nearby the two countries are there, Nepal and Bhutan also. So due to the Himalaya, we didn't find the icy weather. India didn't receive. No, India is unable to receive icy weather. So if we find the icy weather, then our place will be very cold. That's why we receive a moderate climate, neither hot, neither very cold. So this one is one of the important reason for changing the climate. So we studied about the climate changes. Now the last one is the humidity and rains. The amount of moisture of water vapor presents the air called humidity. You keep it in your mind. Maybe the definition will come in your exam. The amount of moisture or water vapor presents in the air is called humidity. So what is humidity? First of all, we need to understand this. The moisture of water in the air is called humidity. The winds blowing over the sea and the oceans are laden with moistures and uh, increase the humidity in the air. Humid weather makes us sweat considerably. So as you can see that nowadays in our place is very hot, a little bit hot. The I mean weather is little bit hot than the winter season, but till now at the night time you will find the snowfalls, little bit snowfalls. If you put something outside of your home, then after some time if you touch it, you will find a little bit wet. This one is because our weather is humid weather, because the weather is comes from the Bay of Bengal. On the other hand, the rainfalls. It is very common that if the rains happens, then the weather becomes very cold. Whenever the rain happens, you will feel a normal weather. Sometimes you will feel very cold weather but you will never receive very hot weather because of the rain, because rains gives cold, neither hot. So this one is one of the important reason. So we studied about I think 5 reasons why the climate is changes. I hope you understand well. If you are unable to understand anything, then you can contact with me. You can message me on my WhatsApp. I will respond you. And the question answers I already made it. You will collect from the school and read the chapter properly. If you don't understand, I'm saying again and again, if you don't understand anything, you can ask me personally. No problem. I'm always ready to help you. Thank you for attending the class.